All right, welcome to Smokey Reacts. I'm your boy journalist, and on this one, we are here for another daily wrap up crew. This is a clip I saw where I was like, "Oh, my body, my choice. His wallet, his choice." I was like, oh, let me dip my toe into this one. Let's see what we get here. What level of maturity and conversation do we have happening on this episode? So, thank you for joining me. If you could please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description, and let's get into this. See what we got. You were here with me.
Get into this next topic. I like how you transitioned that in. You know what I'm saying? I like
lined it up for you.
So this next topic Keem had is consent to sex the same thing as consent to pregnancy?
Let me hear the folks first before I
Keem,
just
jump in on
just
this
do
one
it.
real
Let me
quick. I
see.
know
Let me
this is
see.
your topic, so.
Well, basically they were saying in the video, the guy was saying that consent to sex is consent to pregnancy. I can't 100% agree with that because it's like he used the analogy like if you go to a bar, you consent to getting drunk because there's a possibility you might get drunk, but you're not consenting to get drunk. You consent to have a drink. You know what I mean? You're not necessarily consenting to the hangover or whatever that comes after that. You know what I mean? So I can't necessarily agree that consenting to sex is consenting to pregnancy. You know what I mean?
Did you protect yourself?
I mean, maybe I did.
So
Pull out game.
why is this even a discussion? You didn't even protect yourself, and you knew the possibility that it could happen.
That's the thing.
Yikes.
People don't.
Like-
Guys don't be wanting to use protection.
But
Neither do women.
That's
know.
true.
So we
That's
want-
true, but
gonna get
guys,
this shit
guys
from-
always be the first ones to be like, "Oh, I don't use. I don't want to use."
So then why you
that."
let him go inside your box raw?
Oh, not me.
No, I'm just saying, but you got that excuse for women, but why didn't you not have that excuse for, you got that excuse for men, but why you not have that excuse for women? Like,
Exactly. So I feel like if two grown people is going out and doing X, Y, and Z, they should talk about it. If you're not talking about it, then it's both of y'all faults. Because now when the situation happened, now y'all both gonna argue. Y'all gonna be like, "Oh, it's your fault." Y'all both grown. Y'all know what y'all did. Y'all ain't used no protection, and now y'all got a situation going on.
I think obviously when we talk about consent, we talking about, two people coming to an agreement, right?
Yeah.
So pregnancy, I think when people think about sex, they usually just think about, the pleasure part. Like they're not really, even if they do use protection or whatever the case is, people having sex purely for pleasure, like, for the satisfaction of pleasure. They're not thinking about, I'm having a kid, and they damn sure didn't have a discussion together. Like, you know what? Let's have this baby. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think it's the same thing because, obviously it does take two to tango, right? But only one person has that decision. And I think if one person has that decision, which is the woman, because it's her body, her choice, I think that a man, if he doesn't have a say so, I think it should be very much his wallet, his money, his wallet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if he doesn't agree to having that child with that woman, then I don't think, and I'm not saying this is an excuse, but since he didn't have that decision, it was only one-sided, I don't think that man should be held liable for paying child support. Like,
All right, so we've gone a little further than I'd like the discussion. Now I got to tag team the points. So I feel like my brother in the yellow and Shorty with the leather taxi driver hat have the best combined points. Like the bar analogy. Like I go to the pub, the bar, whatever. I have one drink. I'm not drunk instantly. I'm not consenting to being drunk. I'm consenting, like he says, to having a drink. Just like when we consent to each other's as equal partners. Like, yo, let's do the thing. Let's do it. This is where Shorty's point does come in, though. We are fucking adults. The back end of this, if you are going to get hot and heavy with a person, you either need to have the world's greatest luck, so you can deal with a woman who is either far more communicative or mature about the situation to where you guys can come to an amicable place if something was to happen and you guys were fucking raw. But if you don't, I kind of feel like that's on you, both ends. The girls that end up with shitty baby daddies, that's your fault. You just fucking some random nigga. Look what happened. When it's the niggas with shit baby mamas, that's your fault, bro. You fucked her. You didn't do no due diligence. You didn't do nothing. You just slid up in it raw, and now you have somebody that you deem to be crazy, but now you also have a baby that you have to deal with, or a life situation that you do have to deal with. When it does come to the my body, my choice, his wallet, his choice portion of it, though, it is correct. It's her body, her choice. Most men, when they say that, don't put into the factors of what a woman carrying and gestating a child for fucking 9 months really does to a fucking person. Like the chemical imbalances, the oh, just like the way the body will be transformed, the emotional states that the person will go through. There's so like hypermesis. Like there's so many things that a woman like could do, or shorty could just straight up die. Like it's ridiculous. Like death is on the table instantly when a bird gets pregnant, but it's not for a man. So like to just be like, oh well, like no, shut up. I'm not hearing it, bro. I'm not hearing it. You niggas that have anything to say about that side, I'm not hearing it. There's too much risk involved in her just being like, like I'll do the thing. Like it's ridiculous. When they're saying yes, they're essentially saying I'm willing to die to bring a baby to the world. But on the flip side of that, the world we live in and the way it is constructed, a man being financially obligated to take care of a child that he has helped create, that's the world we live in. Is it correct or morally correct, honestly? If you're being objective, I would feel. No, I don't think it is, because you have a choice that is wholly unto you as a woman, and as a man, there is no choice that is wholly unto him outside of, do I fuck this chick raw or not? Because the girl gets that same equal choice in, do I want to let him fuck me raw or not? But the man, once we both equally agree to that, the next step, the woman only has the ultimate choice. I can't force you to have that baby. I can't force you to not have that baby. But yet you could force me to take care of a baby that you know that I don't want. And this is where, at least me personally, my biggest issue comes in is, if you are going to force somebody to be a father, or force somebody to be a mother, force somebody to be a parent, just because you want to or don't want to have to go through the steps to either raise it by yourself or to have other alternatives taken advantage of, you're a shit person, honestly. Like the fact that you think it's going to be healthy to bring a child into a dynamic where one person clearly doesn't want them. And yeah, a lot of men change after they have a baby. It's very true. Even myself included. A lot of men change. But just because that happens does not mean it's the norm. Just like a lot of women become very maternal once they get pregnant. Doesn't mean every woman's going to be maternal. And now that, because it's a possibility, I now need to make all my assumptions on, well, shorty's gonna want to be a mom. Like, of course. This is where I'm like, such a nuanced topic, and I hope their conversation continues to have the mature viewpoints that I feel like they've been providing so far. Despite it only being 3 minutes, they're doing a good job so far.
What? Do you hear yourself?
And yeah, I do hear myself.
That's, I'm telling you, and that's where the problem boils down to. Did you have a father in the home? Because no real man is about to tell no woman that. Like,
Yeah, but
we
what?
laid down and had this baby, and you gonna tell
No,
me?
we laid down to have sex. We did not. We both didn't agree to have the child. You agreed to have the
So,
child.
Come on.
okay,
She chose, especially in 2023. You make motherfucking choices at this point. You are choosing to have a fucking child. You're not just, no. It's a choice. It's a goddamn choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice.
sex, humans use sex as a fun activity, but what is sex
No,
made to do?
pregnancies are. It could be.
This is an immature argument point. I feel like she's doing the whole, like, well, it's for procreation. Yeah, and so is fucking eating meat. But motherfuckers, eating meat is for sustenance, to keep me alive. But motherfuckers out here being vegan. If we are going to consider ourselves to be sentient higher beings, which we consider ourselves to be, that's why we put ourselves at the goddamn top of the fucking food chain. This argument that my sexual proclivities are boiled down to just, it's here to procreate, is stupid. That's the whole reason we have fun with it, is because we have thought higher than it's just more than just making babies. So to regress the thought and progress of how we are at the current state of, well, sex could just be a sport. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, such immature thinking.
Be a ramification.
No, but what is sex made to do?
To reproduce. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so when
So
we
did
laid
y'all
down,
both agree? Did y'all both?
Sex is currently made for the choice of reproduction. If I choose to want to have somebody I reproduce with, I have that choice on the table. It is not made for that in the particular sense she's trying to make it be out to, because it's a regressive argument point she's trying to use. Like, why are they letting her do this? Don't let her do this.
Both agreed to reproduce when y'all had sex, or did y'all just both agree to have
We
to
having
give each
sex.
other sexual pleasure?
we are having sex.
I'm saying,
right?
I'm asking you a question.
Wait.
What did y'all agree to do when y'all laid down? To have sex, to enjoy sexual pleasure, or to procreate?
We having sex to have pleasure.
Okay.
But what happens? What is the possibility when we're having pleasure?
There's always ramifications. Just like when you drink at a bar, there's a possibility that you could get drunk. Like, you get what I'm saying? But that's not what you're drinking for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That sounds crazy.
it doesn't, because I think if that was the thing, again, childbirth, it takes two to tangle. Childbirth is one. It's only one way. Only you can decide because it's your body, right? Even regardless of the fact, even if it's vice versa. Let's say, you know what, you get pregnant. Yo, I want to keep this child, and you say, you know what, nah, I don't want to keep. I want to. I can't do nothing about that. You get what I'm saying? Even though we both made that child, it's still your decision. And I think because
Real quick before you go on, when a woman say, "Oh, I don't want to keep that child," what is she?
Wait, what?
What is she?
Say it again.
When a woman say, "Oh," and when the man is like, "Yeah, I want to keep this, I want to raise him," blah blah, and the woman's like, "No, I don't want to do that," what is she?
Probably, I don't know.
That's the point. But
Nah,
when the man says, "Nah, I don't wanna do this,"
blood. Nah, I hate that shit. It's such an intellectually dishonest position to take in an argument. You know the question my brother's asking. You know that if you have those double standards, it's that meme where it's these girls out and this dude asks a question about like BBLs and all that. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's just, for a woman, do whatever. It's great. It's perfect. Whatever is good for you that makes you love yourself. And he's like, but what about men that take steroids? They're like, can't even lift weights. Fucking, he's not even a man. Da-da-da-da-da. It's just like, what's going on here? Like, these double standards. Like, if you're willing to admit them to me, I have no problem with you holding them. But when they're so blatant and then you want to feign ignorance like you don't know the double standard you're dancing around, I'm just like, I hate that shit. She out here dancing.
I'm not ready for a child. He a deadbeat, right?
Because it's the woman's body.
Exactly.
It's her
So
body.
if it's
I
her
feel like
body,
you
then
can't
it should be
twist and turn
it should be his choice whether he wants to support
You can't twist and turn
to
that
have
one.
sex. Yes, but if you talk again, you're emphasizing it takes two, but only one person can
making that
decide,
decision.
can make that decision for the both of us. So therefore, it's not equivalent. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I think if that was a situation, and I'm not telling men to not take care of their kids, but a lot of men have expressed throughout the years, throughout decades, that I don't think this is a good decision for us. I'm not ready to be a father, and women have still selfishly made the decision to bring a child into this.
It is selfish.
that's
It is
true.
selfish because if
That's
you're
true.
bringing a child in at a deficit, you already know the ramifications. We see the ramifications of fatherless homes right now. Like, you
We
get
just
what I'm
talking
saying?
about
Nah, that
dudes.
is true though.
Yeah, so it's selfish to bring a child in with no father in the home.
So as a man, what should you be doing to make sure that don't
The
happen?
same thing as a woman,
Communicating to
yeah.
that woman that
And
I'm
what
not
else?
ready.
Fuck, man. Her arguments are terrible. As a man, what should I do? What if Shorty end up hating me? As a man, there's nothing I can do. You can't force somebody to stay in a relationship with you. So if I do all the man shit and Shorty's still like, I don't want you, then what? I'm supposed to put the bitch in a headlock, put her in the basement? Like, this is stupid. There's nothing you can do to force a person. Can you do all what you want to? But how many people do we know that, fuck it, let's just healthy relationships only. The man and the woman both don't have any problems. Good earners. They are actually amicable adults. But they realize that we're not good together. Then what? You can't just... These two family situations, they're great. They're great. They're great. They're great. They're great. However, that's not how life fucking works. People break up. New relationships start. Like, it's just so black and white in a world full of colors and grays that I just don't understand why, like, she's presenting these arguments in this way. I'm like, why? This is not good. It's not good.
Ready to do that.
And what else? Even before we even got there to test result, what should you have done? What should we have done to make sure we don't get there?
There you go. There you go.
What should we have done?
There you go. There you go. What should we have done? All right.
We could have played Connect 4 instead of doing that. We could have
We
played some
goddamn
Uno
adults.
instead of doing that.
Yeah, y'all could have made sure he wore a
And you
condom.
could have
like-
been
Facts.
like,
I could have popped a pill. I could have been popping pills, or you could have wrapped that willy.
But let me ask you a
Yeah.
question, right? Who you think makes that decision to the final decision on not wearing that condom?
Facts.
It should be me, cause you going.
It's not. It should. It is you.
It is
like-
Unless he,
Nah,
And we're not even
that's
talking about
wild.
the extreme
Yeah.
situation.
my fault. But unless that's the situation, it's your decision. Like that's it.
It
Like,
is.
And you know how I know this is true? Because when I was in a previous relationship, and she wanted just to prove a point. Like, obviously, she was my girl for several years. We didn't use protection, obviously, But it was one night where she made me wear protection, right? And I'm like, yo, you killing the mood right now, whatever the case. Like, and she was just trying to teach me a lesson, but she was very adamant, and she made sure that I did not go inside her without a condom. And guess what I did? Put on a
that
condom
condom on,
because she enforced it, because it's her body. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
If more women did that instead of like, you know what, oh, I'm gonna trust your pullout game. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Wait,
y'all really.
So this is where we got to keep the balance. It's not just more women. Yes, does that need to be the custom standard norm that women are holding in the bedroom? Sure. But niggas, even myself included, they feel terrible with a condom. We all say this shit. The niggas that be like, I can't even get it hard. Like, there's so many niggas with excuses for why they don't want to use a condom after shorty's trying to hold that line. We need to also, as men, educate our younger men. They're like, yo, bro, don't even have that kind of chat or patter. Like, if shorty says she wants you to use a condom, that's what it is. Can you complain and say you don't like a condom? Sure, but be complaining while putting on a motherfucking condom. Like, that's the way that it should be. Like, the fuck? I don't like taking out the trash. I'm gonna talk shit the whole time I'm taking out the trash. I'm not gonna just let it fucking pile up. Like, do the work still, and don't make the situation awkward or try and manipulate it or coerce it into being something else due to your non-liking of a thing. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And then let's use the fucking condoms, because having a girl use fucking a Plan B, which it's a great technology, but that shit tough on shorty body, yo. Like, don't be just having bitches popping Plan Bs. That's mad. Like, that's not what it's for. It's for, like, the accident. Should it be accessible like it's candy? Yes, I do want it to be prevalent, over the counter at all times. However, you have to think about the fucking health cost on the person that you're fucking. You don't want your girl that you're fucking all the time to be fucking popping Plan Bs in that. That's mad. Like, it's just, do you really care about the person, or you just want some pussy?
I have a question, right? So say if you've been in a relationship for years and we never use condoms, then all of a sudden your nigga come talking about, let's use a condom. How is that gonna turn out? I'm gonna look at you like, wait, why you?
Nope. You should respect that they want to have a more healthy way to have sex with you and prevent any possible mishaps that may happen. And you guys have skirted having a baby up until then. Same situation if your shorty wants you to start wearing condoms. Don't fucking make it weird. Should you be able to have an open conversation and communicate with each other on why this step is happening? Sure. But it shouldn't raise the alarms that she's trying to say it raises. It shouldn't. You're just being a mature adult if you're doing these type of things.
You pulling out a condom?
I'm definitely gonna turn to Dr. Umar. I find that very suspicious.
I can't.
That nigga did some fishy shit.
Unless, wait, hear me out. Unless he had a scare, or y'all had a scare where you almost got pregnant, then he's like, you know what, I'm playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't rolling this dice.
Yeah, I ain't rolling.
Or maybe I've dodged enough bullets. I'm an active shooter in the club. Maybe I should start using rubber bullets instead of real ones. It's simple. It's like, fuck, we're dipping back into the immaturity again. Like, it's only if you've had a pregnancy scare is when a nigga might think he needs to use a condom. Not the niggas is like, I've been getting some raw meats. Raw meats is dangerous with the way my bank account is set up right now, my lifestyle. Maybe I shouldn't get raw meats no more. Like, there's just no, like, fully formed thought in some of this shit. It just feels like motherfuckers just like, I'm speaking to and for a particular kind of man, and I'm just like, just be more well-rounded. That is my hope.
That's the only
What if you
situation.
ovulating? If you ovulating, then you might not want to risk it. This
We
way.
don't never use condoms.
And first of all,
And then one day you just bring them.
So what if he say he don't feel like pulling out tonight?
That's mad
He don't feel like pulling out tonight.
You wildin'.
and that's why I'm bringing the
Come on.
I'm glad you brought
Come
that
on.
point up, because obviously with modern technology now, y'all got apps. Y'all know exactly when y'all ovulating. Like, you get what I'm saying? So y'all know exactly when, is the ideal time to, have sex, because there's not a high possibility that you can get pregnant. Y'all know y'all got all of these plus the 30 plus forms of contraceptive y'all have, like plus y'all have all of these preventative measures to make sure y'all don't become single parents, obviously, right?
Oh, fuck, I'm not even one of these guys. But the fucking misogyny being presented in this argument by my brother is ridiculous. You just sat there and sat in a woman's face. It was like these 30 plus different ways for you not to get pregnant. You can't use one of them while also being a man who's like, niggas can't use the one. And then just really think about where those 30 plus things come from. We've worked hard as men to figure out how not to put a baby in a bitch so we can keep fucking her raw. Does that not seem like a system that might be a little flawed? Because there's only one form of contraception for men, but there's 30 plus for women. Like, the disparity in the numbers should have you be like, I don't know if this is like the best argument for what the fuck is being stated here. Fuck. Sociology and sex ed needs to be taught at a younger age. I swear to God. This shit is ridiculous.
Oh my God.
And y'all still choose to not do this shit. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I think you've been in a little too much. Listen. I feel like it's an equal thing. Men are equally responsible for a woman being pregnant.
Yes.
Yes, that's understandable.
So how dare you fix your face and say that?
But listen, if we have a history, right? You said your mother and father was together, right?
Yeah.
Your mother and father, your father was in jail, right? What about you? You have both parents?
No, just my mom.
Oh, okay. So there's two women right here with a history of single parent households, right? So they already know what they don't want to be because they've seen their mother struggling. We have a whole history of women seeing what happens in a single parent household, and you still actively choose to make that decision.
I hear you. Great scenario, right? Yeah, and I know 15 other niggas that's saying, yo, she trapped me. And instead of you fucking putting yourself in that position, put on a motherfucking condom, bro.
Exactly.
That is,
female first of all, it's beyond pregnancy. There's things out here that you cannot get rid of.
you telling us while letting a man come inside you raw? Like, you telling us that?
But I'm saying it's beyond getting pregnant. Like, put that shit on. Like.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is I understand the equivalent exchange. Sex is an equivalent exchange. But a woman's womb is very important to her. Women die during childbirth.
Yes.
This is not, your womb is not something to play with.
Asterisk. Just carrying the baby. They died during that part too.
You know what I'm saying? So.
All right, sorry about that. Got a phone call.
So you have to protect, as a woman, I think you have to do more of a job protecting your womb than to sit there and blame another man. Like,
Fuck no. I'm not even letting my nigga finish that one. She's being assaulted on all sides by niggas that want access to that womb. How about we stop making or teaching niggas to be so predatory? Like, no. Should she protect her womb at all costs? Sure. But should a man do anything he can, excuse me, within reason, to try and get some pussy? Because that's currently the game the niggas do. They buy cars, they buy clothes, they buy trips. They do everything within legal and morally right means to try and get access to this woman's pussy. And you being like, well, even after all that, she's got to work harder. How about niggas stop being so predatory on some pussy? How about we just start teaching niggas to just be cool? So the full line of protection she does have for herself is respected. Because when they do respect themselves and they're like, well, yeah, I'm not letting niggas do X, Y, and Z, that's when niggas start coming out with a bag of motherfucking excuses or just shit that they say to try and convince shorty to let me get some pussy. Like, this argument seems so one-sided in certain points. It's just like, why are you talking like this? And then what niggas is listening to my nigga like, yeah, he's talking that shit. Because, like, bro, that's an unhealthy relationship you hold with women and for women, I would deem, in my opinion. That's crazy. Shorty need to protect her fucking vagina and womb at all costs. Nothing for the niggas, though. Nothing.
The only reason why I don't agree with you is because the man doesn't have a say-so in the decision that the woman makes. Mm-hmm. So the fact that your voice is taken away and your point of view has no vision, that's why I think you should be more on it to wear a condom to protect yourself, because you're protecting your future, whether or not she's still going to be a single mother, right? And let's say whether or not you're going to be a part of that child's life, it's still going to affect you.
Yeah, but then you have guys who can easily, if guys don't really want to be a father, it's unfortunate, they can leave the country, they can leave town, and guess who's stuck with that child?
Yes, could a nigga run off? It's impossible, sure. The level of treaties that are just in the world because niggas do the dumb shit that he's talking about shows me the lack of actual understanding he has on how shiftless niggas and people can be when it comes to fucking reproduction and child rearing. Because it's not just niggas that run off. Women run off as well. It's not just a party full of just one side of people doing bad shit. Everybody fucking sucks. Men and women included. And we have to work better to like harder to be better because these excuses of like, oh, well, dude could just run off. Well, shorty could just had a baby and run off. Like, fuck are we talking about? She could just leave the country. Then what? Like, there's a lady in Japan currently whose whole job is just niggas thought they was gonna run off after getting pussy. Boy, I bet you paying that child support now, ain't you? I bet you hate that lady in Japan. Like, you're not just gonna run off. It just not have, there will be repercussions. If you can figure out how to skirt and get away, there's niggas out here that do that still. There's women out here that do that still. But that's not the norm. They are a niche. You are using a minority group of individuals to have a majority perspective argument. And it's arguments in bad faith, a lot of these points that they're making.
The woman, you get what I'm saying? Now you chasing a man down for child support to get what, like $5 a pay? Like why y'all doing all of that when you could just protect, as a woman, you could just protect your womb, I think. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But a hardworking man, an average man that got a job, you know what they gonna do, whether you in that child's life or not? Make you pay child support. So why the fuck would I do that? I'm gonna put a fucking condom on. Yeah. Still to this day, she get pregnant. I got no fucking say so. The only way I can prevent her voice is by me putting on a condom. I'm not doing it because I'm not worried about, well, I am worried about her getting pregnant, but I'm more worried about her not caring about my feelings and this decision that's being made. Yeah, she should have told me to put on a condom too. Yeah, she should have been taking birth control, but only way I can control that narrative is by me putting on a condom.
That is understandable, but again, if we have seen a history of women complaining about being a single, again, we talked about this before. But who does it?
Women set men up all the time. What the fuck am I gonna do about it?
You talking about success?
Niggas set bitches up all the time too. We don't really talk about them niggas. But them niggas exist. Like, fuck. Outside of professional sports, when it comes to shit that men and women do, if there's a nigga doing it, there's a woman doing it somewhere else in the world. I'm trying to tell you now. Like, is it at the same rate? Always no, but I guarantee you there's a shorty doing the same thing that a nigga's doing out here.
That's full men. Like
I'm talking about average men that's working at Car Medicine, working at the bus, working at the fucking supermarket. Because she feel like she could get him to pay bills or pay something. You're gonna be paid whatever you working for. It's her.
So
I've heard women say, "Oh, well, he doesn't want to be in my child life. I'm gonna do it on my own." And then when doing it on my own means I'm gonna make you pay child support. So that job. When you're
7 times out of 10, I would agree that the current dynamic of when a woman uses the "I'm gonna do it on my own," it turned into child support. Now I'm gonna go 6 times out of 10, cause them other 4, there's a lot of women out here that actually are like, fuck that nigga, fuck any money that the state could get from that nigga, any stress that I would have to go through for that. I'm really out here thugging it. And shout out to y'all, because that's the position I really respect the most, is the women that are like, I'm going to have this baby, don't need you to help me raise this baby, and I'm out here getting it out the mud on my own without no nigga and no cry about it, because you have made a choice and you have wrote out on your choice. I completely respect that. I wish all the success to all of y'all. And then the single fathers that get stuck with babies after women say that they wanted to have the baby but end up having it and then don't want it, and then they just fuck off. Shout out to them, man, too, because that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Living by yourself and you're making, let's say, when women say, oh, $1,000, you're a broke nigga, but you're making this $1,000 a week, right? And now $200-300 got to go to that child. How are you gonna live?
That's understandable, but a lot of women have been complaining that they don't even get, they struggling to get the money from child support from them. And again, if a woman has to keep the kid, her value goes down in the dating market because most men don't.
Shut it. No, it's not true. Too many of you niggas out here playing stepdaddy or fucking on women that have babies and not caring that they have kids for me to listen to this bullshit. So fuck that. Her value go down in the dating market. If she bad, niggas is paying. Fuck are you talking about? fuck are you talking about? No.
Don't want a woman with a children. Whereas most women will date a man with a child. Like, you get what I'm saying? That's not an issue because they know that.
Not many women. This is anecdotal. This is very anecdotal. But the amount of women that I know that be like, oh, cuz got a kid, fuck that, man. I'm not dealing with him and his baby mama. Same situation. Niggas, but I'm not dealing with them kids and their baby daddy. Like, nobody wants to deal with anybody with human baggage. But there are too many people with human baggage still out here getting partners that the actual reality of the situation does not stack up to the bravado that niggas say this shit with. When I hear it, it's stupid.
And they're not the primary caretaker.
I'm thinking on the aspect of the nigga that's working. That nigga doesn't care if she get a fucking new man. That man ain't want the fucking kid in the first place.
I agree with both of what y'all saying, but I just think there's more ramifications on the woman's side. So they should be more responsible in what they. If there's more ramifications for you, you should be more responsible. You should be more responsible.
Health reasons.
Right?
How about we just equalize the conversation? If you are wanting to have say so in what happens post her having a baby, let's move the conversation to there and start, instead of trying to put onus on one party for something that we just want, I guess, influence on after the fact. Because continuing to put onus on just one portion of the party when this is a two-party situation, because Shorty don't get pregnant without you, you don't get her pregnant without her. Like, everybody is playing a part. Because, like, fuck. Let's just, I don't know how we get to a world where it becomes her body and his wallet. And that's the world that we live in. And that would be the most equitable outcome in these situations, and that being the most equitable outcome, the only person getting left out at that point is the child, because that is when there'll be a lot of niggas that have kids out here that they don't have to take care of, and there's a lot of women that don't have the financial repercussions, or not repercussions, but abilities to go get child support from somebody who said they didn't want to have that child in the first place, but you've decided to carry that baby all the way to term. Like, it's your body, it's your choice. You decide to go all the way to term, calm. His wallet, his choice. If he want to walk away and he told you he don't want to be a daddy, it should be his choice as well. Until we can get to that world, let's just equally share this burden. Stop trying to talk her out her drawers all the goddamn time. And if you do talk her out her drawers, make sure you wear a condom. Make sure he doesn't go up in you raw. It's quite simple.
Number one, you got being in poverty and being relying on government assistance and begging the government to get child support. That's number two. Your dating value goes down. Number three, like, it's a lot more ramifications for women as opposed to a man worrying about.
Brother.
I'm on his side because he's basically saying,
on his side.
No, hell yeah. Because let's say you, right? You got a nice job. You doing what you got to do. You know your worth, right? So you're gonna protect yourself by any means necessary. Yeah, I'm fucking this girl, you know, her shit, you know.
I'm not even gonna get on her like that, because it was an argument that I used to hold, which is when people of higher financial affluency get caught up in fuckeries and scandals, you had the upper hand, but yet you did not carry yourself through that dynamic as if you did have the upper hand. And now you are dealing with people that are causing your public image to be tarnished, your financial situation to be lessened. Like, you should have buttoned your shit up. But that's just, it's a naive argument. People, when dealing with other people, just make stupid decisions. You like how a person looks, you like how they smell, how they talk to you, how they make you feel. So a lot of these things that we feel like we should have the mental fortitude to kind of prepare for or to mitigate actually go out of the fucking window. And that's how we actually end up telling motherfucking lies and fucking stories while we fucking kissing a missionary. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it sounds like a lot of people that just aren't trying to be honest about all the nuanced parts of this dynamic. And Shorty look waved in the middle. Like, she looks like she listening, but she look like she been drinking.
All right. Like, you know,
And a little bit of smoking too.
And I'm going to rap my willy because I don't, like you said, women do have the right to control your future. So
and they have the right to control their own future as well.
The ability, not the right. It is an ability. It is not a right. please let's talk about this stuff in the right way.
Yes, I'm not saying that. I feel like
we all know they're not thinking logically. They thinking emotionally.
A man should sit there and protect himself too. I feel like a man that really care about himself, he not gonna just fuck any bitch raw. Like, you gonna work hard for this puppy juice. Like,
yeah, but
like, no
what nigga she be talking to?
Lying, though?
Calling puppy juice.
Not lying, but there's how many women out here crying talking about, oh yeah, I'm independent, I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm a single mom. Shout out to the single moms, but how many single dads you out here crying, bro? It's not that many.
This single
They
dads.
motherfucking crying. They crying.
They doing anything.
They crying.
I know a few.
They
Them niggas crying. They're crying in silence, though.
With them or not, them niggas is crying. They crying loud. They crying rivers. They got NSYNC in the background crying.
Yeah, but I think we're just now hearing men
Justin Timberlake,
like you said, or crying, whatever the case is. When we have heard women for the last 30, 40 years crying about being a single parent, for you to continue to go down that same road.
Has the statistical disparity of women being single parents since the feminist movement in the 60s or 70s, has that disparity grown vastly? Sure, but women as a whole have been made to be single moms, parents, or women just thrust into lower levels of society for bare time. Like, not just the last 30, 40 years. Like, oh, fuck, this is like a conversation that's been happening for like a millennia at this point. This is ridiculous.
As a woman, you seen your auntie, your mama, your grandmother, all of these women be single mothers, and you still would want to participate in that generational curse. You know what I'm saying? That's
I agree with that part 100%. I just don't agree that a man should put himself at risk. I feel like we got so much to lose because we don't have a voice. That's all I'm saying.
We do. Men have.
We gonna have to agree to disagree.
That is true.
Men have a lot to lose, but women have more to lose.
They do have more to lose. But they have leverage over that man.
A great man.
So the issue that woman is going through, you may be going through 2 times worse.
A great man once said, with great power comes great responsibility, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Uncle Ben.
I don't know who said that. Like,
I don't, but I know somebody
come
said
on,
that.
man.
Look, I have quoted Spider-Man and shit.
His uncle or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah, Uncle Ben. Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Ben. He was speaking facts on that one, man. Yeah.
Can't even give it the
Yo, brothers, man, put that motherfucker condom on, man. Don't let them hold your lips.
And your ladies, man, make sure y'all protect y'all womb, man. And
yeah, man, take a pill, get your coochie wrapped something. Wrap your coochie.
All right. It always seems like it always starts off well when I'm watching those. I'm like, oh man, they're doing good, and then they just sounds like a bunch of little niggas with fucking like biases and double standards that they are happy to stand on, but not admit that I just end up hearing, and I'm just like, why? Why is it like this? Why is it like? Why is this the way that people are wanting to have these conversations dissected? I don't understand it. I don't get why we don't want to have like a real adult conversation where it's ugly. It's not the happy truths. It's not the pretty white lies. We're not dressing it up. It's stark. It's bleak out here. Bottom line, your body, fine. His wallet, fine. You gonna make a baby that he don't want, and you're gonna be stuck having to pay for it and raise it on your own. That is the most even way between men and women to have to deal with this situation. Is that the world we live in? Is it a world we're getting closer to? No, because the way that men are using legislation, especially in the United States currently, to gain a voice in this particular portion of the conversation is to just destroy female reproductive rights. And for what? Because you feel something, nigga? You feel something? Get the fuck out my face with your motherfucking feelings. This motherfucker might die just from trying to say that she wants to do a thing. And you talking to me about feelings. Boy, you sound like a boy. You sound like a tiny ass boy. You niggas is crazy. This shit is stupid. It's stupid as fuck. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer. I'm not trying to sit here and act like I do. But I'm adult enough to be able to have the blatant honesty portion of this conversation that needs to be had, because people are tiptoeing around. My man is trying to present the argument, but there's too much onus. Just, if you want to do this, own that. If I want to do this, that's what it should be. Bottom line, it's dark, but that's the most equal way. That said, though, That's it for me on this one. Shout out to the Daily Wrap Up crew. I do appreciate them having these conversations and putting these like type of videos together and this type of content. I do appreciate it from that standpoint, and I do respect them on their hustle and doing the things that they're doing. I just, when these conversations about relationship or just people's lives and reproductive fucking things or just what it means to be a man or a woman come up, I see so much posturing and just falseness and double standards that are just glaring that I'm just like, why are we having a conversation so dishonestly? I never understand it, and it frustrates me so much. But yeah, that's it for me on this one. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for joining me. Please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon's in the description. I'm out of here. Peace.